Hey guys, video number 3 for this week. And we're going to do an open cup today using this heart shape right here. I doubt it will leave a heart shape, but we will see. And then we're going to just stretch that out. I'm not going to manipulate the painting in any way. That will be for the next painting. So let's get started on this messy masterpiece. Okay guys, so for an open cup, we're going to lay a puddle of paint on the canvas. That way the paint moves around freely once you pour it into whatever kind of open cup you're using. And at this point, you're going to want to pop the air bubbles and get any clumps out of your paint that you see before you start layering those colors on top. One thing about using Floetrol in your paint is whenever you're uh, pouring it out on the canvas and then just taking your fingers and rubbing it out like that, and you see how it's all different layers. Well, Floetrol is self-leveling, so it's going to dry leveled no matter how, I guess, unlevel it is whenever you pour it onto the canvas. This is only a 12 by 12 canvas, and I really put too much paint for the puddle, so it's gonna have extra paint, and that will just flow off the sides. You can see I'm using my bigger cups this time, but I do have water in them, not nearly as much as you would for a pearl pour, but I did add maybe an ounce to each cup, and that's just to get the paint to flow a little bit better with an open cup. And the thinner the paint, the more cells you're gonna have pop up. There no silicone in any of these colors. So all the cells you see in this painting are just from the paints mixing. And since I'm using a metallic, the metallic encourages those cells more than any of the other colors combined. And you'll see that once the painting is done. And at this point in the painting, I'm already realizing that it's not going to act like an open cup pour because of the fact that no paint is falling out the sides already like you would usually see with an open cup. So what I'm realizing is that the heart is just too big and I would really have to put a lot more paint than is required for a 12 by 12 canvas. So I'm just going to go with it and see how it goes, and it turns out beautifully, so keep watching. I can already tell that this is way too much paint for the canvas, so I end up just stopping there, and I do try to act like it's an open cup by pulling the open cup tool up and down to see if the paint will flow, but it's just such a big heart that it's not going to do that. So instead, I decide to just take the heart and just kind of twist it around the paint, just kind of sliding over the top. That way it does mix all the colors like it would with a traveling open cup. And it works very well. You can already see tiny cells popping up. And as those cells are getting bigger, I am just loving the color combination for one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and torch it. And whenever you're torching thinner paint, make sure you're not gonna scorch the paint. When you see those little teeny tiny cells pop up, that's not you scorching the paint. Scorching the paint would look like you immediately dried the top of the paint, and that's scorched paint. So now I'm just working with letting the paint fall off the sides. There is no rush to this process. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. but you want to try to look at the designs of the canvas or the paint on the canvas and try to get a good composition for your painting. And even though it's off camera, I'm just kind of touching up the corners right now. And then we're going to just work the paint off the other sides and stretch that out. And once you see it stretch out more, you'll see what I'm talking about with the metallic, the gold that I put on there. It just creates some beautiful cells, and it also kind of mixes with the um, teal blue and kind of makes a green color on the edges of the gold, which is really cool. Make sure you stay for the wet and dried results and like and subscribe. So here you can see what I'm talking about with the gold. It's just so beautiful, the cells that pop up with that gold. Um, right there, you can see that the gold mixed with the maroon and it almost made like a bronze color. And I just love the way colors flow together. All right, guys. So I said that I wasn't going to manipulate the paint on this one, but as it was sitting there drying after I finished the video, I realized it just needed a little bit more of that darker contrast. So I ended up adding that dark Paynes gray along with some of the gold, and I just kind of blew it to give it some shape. Um, but I think it turned out beautifully. I mean, look at all those little colors and tech. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should I have manipulated it or should I have left it alone?